Coming up, who says Republicans and Democrats can't get along? A debate at NAU proves otherwise. Plus, a playful pooch needs a new home. The news starts now.
You're watching NAZ Today, Northern Arizona's local news.
Good evening and welcome to NAZ Today. I'm Tori Smith.
And I'm Liam Combs. Thanks for tuning in. NAU Young Democrats in the GOP student group Turning Point USA held their first public debate last Friday in the University Union. Some organizers say they thought it was going to be a hostile event, but it turned out to be the opposite. It's a story we've all heard before. Democrats and Republicans arguing over controversial topics. This time around, though, there was less focus on gaining points over the opposition and more on healthy discourse.
It just takes the effort to, instead of judge first, get to know the person, talk with them, and that's how we can improve to be more bipartisan, to be more peaceful in our country.
The debate consisted of 4 topics: vaccine and mask mandates, election integrity, social welfare, and criminal justice reform. Afterwards, both sides took turns speaking on the misconceptions they hold about their political counterparts.
They're people just like us.
The president of the Young Democrats says there is too much finger-pointing in America and not enough direct communication.
And you can really, really strongly believe that the other side is fighting for injustice, that they're fighting for inequality, that they're fighting against what you really believe America feels like. You are allowed to think that, but you are not allowed to dehumanize, you are not allowed to villainize, and you're really not allowed to take the communication aspect out of politics.
Michelle Coles, debater for Turning Point, says events like these are important steps to reach a more united United States.
With the way that our political climate is now, right, the only really discourse that we see between, the two major sides is kind of just screaming and, things like that. And showing that there can be civil discourse is really good for a lot of people to see.
As the event came to a close, members of both clubs came together, laughing and sharing their experiences during their first debate, exemplifying their message of bipartisanship.
We can do more. We can rebuild the American dream.
Lou said another big debate is in the works, but he did not give any information until the plan is finalized. In other news tonight, the Arizona Republican Party filed a lawsuit Friday against mail-in ballots. The GOP is asking the state Supreme Court to declare voting by mail unconstitutional. This method was used by 90% of voters in 2020. The GOP says in-person voting on Election Day is the only constitutional voting method. Democratic Secretary of State Katie Hobbs called the suit, in her words, a ridiculous attempt from the right to undermine our elections.
Spring is on the horizon and you may want to consider taking up a new hobby. For those of you with green thumbs, applications to rent a garden plot at the Flagstaff Community Garden is now open. Plots are available on a first-come, first-served basis and cost $65 to rent until fall. There are 3 Flagstaff locations available. To apply for a plot in these gardens, visit the website on the bottom of the screen. Free or low-cost feminine hygiene products are nearly impossible to find on the NAU campus. A group called the Period Club hoping to make a difference. NAZ Today's Chris Kratzis has the story.
Women make up a majority of the students at NAU, and there's a strong need for menstruation and hygiene products here on campus. The club was formed on NAU's campus after noticing the severe lack of menstrual products in women's bathrooms. The president of the Period Club, Sydney Felson, explains exactly what period poverty means.
It is defined as inadequate access to menstrual products and education, and about a quarter of students actually struggle to afford them every year.
While NAU does offer menstrual products on campus, Felson says the lack of advertisement for these products keeps the student body in the dark.
I believe, if I remember correctly, they're $5 though. Then there are free tampons at the HLC, but that actually hasn't been advertised. I know I didn't know that until recently, and I'm a senior. Other than that, those are the only place you can get them as of now.
Felson says the stigma around menstruation is further inflated when combined with the inaccessibility to products on campus.
Speaking on my behalf and all of my friends, I think we've all been in a position where, hey, I need a tampon, you're asking everyone around you if anyone has one, you already feel a little embarrassed.
In order to bring an end to period poverty on campus, She says they would need to install around 180 dispensers, which would only cost about $46,000 with a yearly refill cost of $26,000.
All we need to do is just prove to the school that this is needed and that they should fit this into their budget.
Chris Kratzis, NAZ Today.
It will soon cost more money to camp at the Grand Canyon. Effective July 1st, 2022, the nightly camping fee will increase from $8 to $12 per person below the rim in designated backcountry camping areas. This change does not affect the Mather, Desert View, or North Rim campgrounds.
Arizona Congressman Greg Stanton is calling on a federal government to end the ban on blood donations from gay and bisexual men. The Arizona Red Cross is experiencing its first ever crisis due to an extreme blood shortage. Stanton says the blood ban is not only outdated, but is also discriminatory. Arizona lawmakers are pushing for a bill that would ban cat declawing. The measure would make it illegal for certified veterinary technicians from performing this medical practice on cats. New York became the first state to ban cat declawing, joining most of Europe and several Canadian provinces that have outlawed this practice.
With spring right around the corner, you may be looking for a pet to join you on your upcoming outdoor explorations. Michaela Richardson joins us for this week's Pet of the Week.
Today I got to meet an extremely sweet and loyal dog at the Coconino Humane Association. Let's take a look. Meet Mona, a 2-year-old shepherd mix who is perfect for running around outdoors as well as cuddling up inside.
She's a really nice dog. She loves people very much, but she doesn't care for other creatures, so she needs to be in a home with no other animals, just people.
She may not like other animals, but she adores children of any age.
So she's great with children.
She's just a very affectionate dog. I think she'd be great with a family.
Mona is not for the faint of heart. A dog like her is suggested to be with someone who can give her the attention she needs.
Very, very nice. Very outgoing personality, loves to play with people, loves to play in her kennel. So she probably needs somebody who's going to have a good amount of energy. So somebody's going to be able to run all this energy off her, take her out in the wound box and run a lot of this energy off of her.
Though she likes to run around, Mona is also the perfect cuddle buddy.
She's such a warm, cuddly, as you can see, personality.
She's just one of the nicest doggies ever.
Like last week, a generous donor has paid for Mona's adoption fee, so she'll be ready to come home once the adoption process is complete. If you think she is the perfect pup for you, visit the Coconino Humane Association or go online to coconinohumane.org. Michaela Richardson, NAZ Today.
Coming up, Americans are feeling the effects of the Russian invasion on Ukraine. Also, truckers from across the country are making their way to D.C. tonight to protest President Biden's State of the Union address. Stay with us.
Hey Flagstaff, so I know in the new year we've had a roller coaster of a trend increasing in temperatures and decreasing as well. Even though we are seeing a beautiful sunny sky today, however, that will change throughout the week. That'll include increase in cloud coverage, potential snowfall, and what comes with that is a drop in temperatures. I'll have more after the break.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me.
That was perfect.
But I heard every word.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzzed and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So, yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. Go to discovertheforest.org.
Meals on Wheels gives me a chance to be totally selfless. More than the food itself, a lot of seniors don't have family. So just to have someone to talk to, just to say, hey, how was your day? That means so much more than a meal could ever mean. We have to look outside of ourselves to be that lifeline to other people. It's worth it.
Welcome back. Although the conflict in Ukraine is halfway across the world, Americans are feeling the effects of the Russian invasion here at home. CNN's Amy Kiley has the story.
In Ukraine, the impact of the war is painfully clear. In the U.S., the effects are more subtle. Oil is already up over $100 a barrel, and experts expect the conflict will keep prices high.
Ordinary Americans will be paying a little bit higher at the pump. But frankly, I think that is a sacrifice that we need to pay, because we'll pay far more later if we don't successfully stand up to Putin on this.
As the stock market opens Monday, investors are bracing after a roller coaster last week. Meanwhile, boycotts of Russian-branded alcohol are underway at some stores and bars.
Kind of like how you bounce somebody from a bar that, just isn't getting along with everybody else. So we just decided to dump the Russian vodka for now, and because they weren't playing well with others at the bar.
Other organizations are finding their own ways to distance themselves from Russian President Vladimir Putin and his country.
He and his government are being treated like the pariahs that they are.
But the Ukraine war is affecting more than just U.S. finances and affiliations. It's igniting anger among protesters here and rekindling Cold War-era fear.
Top officials in leading NATO countries have allowed themselves to make aggressive comments about our country. Therefore, I hereby order the Minister of Defense and the Chief of the General Staff to place the Russian Army Deterrence Force on combat alert.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
Truckers from across the country are driving to D.C. today to protest COVID-19 mandates ahead of President Biden's State of the Union address. Biden is set to speak at 7 p.m. tonight. Amy Kiley has this one too.
Truckers protesting COVID-19 rules are making their way from as far away as Los Angeles to Washington, D.C. They plan to demonstrate around the State of the Union address Tuesday.
I should not have to show a card to go buy a burger. I should not have to cover my face, wear a face diaper to get on an airplane.
But when the truckers get to the District of Columbia, they won't have to wear masks. Even lawmakers attending President Joe Biden's speech no longer have to do that.
I would say the president is very powerful, but he couldn't make us be in the green zone that we're in right now in D.C. That's why we are not required. We're not going to be required to wear masks.
In fact, more and more places are relaxing COVID-19 restrictions.
I'm excited about the spring and the summer and what it's going to mean for everybody, that now we can all see our smiles.
But some truckers are still on the way to the U.S. Capitol with supporters cheering them on.
We're behind you, and thank you for what you're doing.
Among their beefs, Biden's federal vaccine mandates. Courts have blocked the ones for private companies and federal agencies. They're still in place for healthcare workers and the military. Other employers can choose whether to require vaccinations.
Our government can only have as much power as we give them, and that's what this is all about.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
It appears these hot ashes are about to be dumped, which could possibly start a wildfire. How will Smokey deal with such a hot situation? The garden hose defense. Next, a thorough stir. Then another spray. And finally, feeling if the ashes are cool. Ah yes, the selfie. A ritual practiced so frequently with this tribe, but not so much by Smokey Bear.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
I was 0.5 credits away from completing high school, and I didn't do it. My support team never stopped pushing for me to be better because they knew who I could become as a person. I've been given an opportunity, and I'm just thankful for it.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
So we were walking to school.
I started thinking about lunch. Mom packed me turkey and cheese.
She's
I really want
smart.
cheese pizza.
Sometimes her mind wanders.
We should have a sleepover.
I remember saying, Laura?
I think I heard Mom say something.
The sign says don't walk.
Sometimes it's so overwhelming.
I really hope she doesn't
I
have
really
another
hope I
bad
don't
day
have
at
another
school
bad day at
today.
school today.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. Go to understood.org, a free online resource with support and tools to help your child thrive.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? But now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Welcome back to NAZ Today, guys. My name is Hannah Ware, and I'll be your student weather forecaster for the night. Last week, we did have Matt Keenan step in, and all I'd like to say is I'm glad to be back, and I'm sure you guys are too. Totally kidding. We love you here at NAZ Today, Matt. Let's get into our temperatures for today. Currently, we are at 52 degrees with clear skies, and that can be explained by our barometric pressure above 30 by 0.26 and winds pushing about 10 miles per hour, but nothing too intense. It's going to feel more like a warm breeze as of today. As we can see in our current satellite, looks like we're having a little bit of a hiccup here. In our neighboring state right here, we are seeing some intense winds pushing in that southeast region. However, it's not really affecting Arizona at all, especially in that northern Arizona region. And as we look in our highs and lows today for Flagstaff, we are seeing a high of 54, low of 24, right around those averages as expected. However, we have not seen any precipitation today. However, I'd say that's okay considering last week we did see a lot of snowfall, adding to our inches since January 1st at 1.24. And I'm hoping this weekend we will actually see some snow as it's predicted so that we aren't having such a huge gap of that 3 inches where we're sitting at 4.2 inches. Looking at our high temperatures all around Phoenix, you're sitting at 85, Las Vegas 79, Kingman 75, and then in that Flagstaff Grand Canyon Page region at a higher elevation, you guys are sitting at low to mid 50s. Tonight we will see a low of 24, mostly clear skies and a new moon, so it'll be a great night to go out and check out those stars at 1.1%. As we head into tomorrow morning, we'll see again a beautiful sunny sky, 60 degrees, sunrise at 6:55 a.m., and then our days are getting longer when our sunset is at 6:23 p.m. as well. Looking into our highs and lows for tomorrow, Lake Havasu, you're sitting at a beautiful 84 degrees, so it's definitely time to take out your boat to the lake, and just please invite me because I'd like to get my tan on. Phoenix, you're at a high 80, almost getting into those 90-degree temperatures at 87. And then Page, Tuba City, Winslow, you guys are in those mid to high 60 degrees. Wednesday, we'll see a high of 61 with a low of 31. Pretty much same thing for Thursday as well, Friday, that's where we're going to see that drop in gusts at night. We'll see a drop in about 15-degree temperatures and some intense gusts around 30 miles per hour. And then on Saturday, we will see some potential snow, 30 to 40%, but that won't really start until noon, and hopefully that carries through to Sunday. That's all we have for weather, but stay tuned after the break for sports with Lindsay Ridgway.
Me and my boy Matt had it good. He had catnip that was off the hook. But one day, he brings a girl home, and she's allergic to cats. Every sneeze was a nail in my coffin. Now I'm in a shelter. It's decent, but they don't even have Wi-Fi.
Hey, can you chop the pineapple?
Chop the pineapple.
Nope. I'm high. How about I wash off the grapes?
Yes.
Okay. You're already making good decisions when you're high.
I want tacos. Will you drive? I'm a little toasty.
Nope. I'm high. Let's order in. Don't make an exception when it comes to driving. If you feel different, you drive different.
The next 30 seconds can save you a lot of money. Just do your laundry in cold and stick to full loads. Auto sleep your computers. Plug your gadgets in a power strip and switch it off when you're done. Headed out? Turn back your thermostat by 10 degrees. And drive sensibly. The more energy you save, the more money you save. Find other great tips at energysaver.gov.
Welcome back to NAZ Today. My name is Lindsay Ridgway, and I will be your sports reporter for the night. Starting us off tonight, though, for the past 8 years, Coach Tyrone Johnson of the Flagstaff High School girls basketball team has brought his team to the semifinals, but has not yet been able to get over that hump. But last Thursday night, Flagstaff girls basketball made it finally to the state championship after defeating Shadow Mountain 56-34. They played last night at 6 p.m. at the Arizona Veterans Memorial Coliseum. They unfortunately did come away with the loss, and I had the amazing opportunity to go down to Phoenix and speak with Coach Johnson following the game.
Well, you know, this team, they just bought in. They worked together. They liked each other. They enjoyed each other, and so it was fun just to witness their growth throughout the year and to finally get over that Final Four hump and for them to be able to play for a state championship game. I mean, I'm definitely proud of them.
Bringing it back to NAU, we had two teams win championships this past weekend. First, both men and women's indoor track and field teams came away with the win at the Big Sky Championship in Bozeman, Montana. This is NAU's 12th time winning the championship in school history. NAU ended the weekend with a total of 11 gold medals and 19 podium performances and a total of 170 and 182 points respectively. NAU Swim and Dive also came home champions as they won their 9th straight WAC championship title. They finished out their weekend with a total of 770 points. They received 6 gold, 5 silver, and 2 bronze medals to add to their trophy case along with the championship. Coming back to conference play, NAU women's tennis started off conference this weekend against Weber State, but unfortunately fell with a score of 4-3. Men's tennis, on the other hand, continued their home win streak, beating the GCU Lopes 4-0 to up their spring play score to 10-4. The men are off this week in preparation for their first conference match against Eastern Washington University next Sunday. NAU men and women's basketball are rounding up their seasons this week as well and are getting ready to head into their Big Sky Championship next week. This past weekend, though, both men and women competed against Weber State. The men had their final game at home and celebrated senior Jay Green, but unfortunately fell to the number 2 Wildcats with a score of 73-49. The women, on the other hand, were up in Ogden, Utah, competing against the Lady Wildcats, who are number 10 in Big Sky standing, and were able to bring home a win of 89-77. Heading home to finish up their season this week, the women are tied with Sacramento State for 5th place. That's all I have for you tonight for sports, but stick around after the break for your weather recap with Hannah Ware.
When I first saw a turtle, my heart was full. Now I'm anything but lonely.
We had this deep connection, this heart connection.
He just wants to be close to you and part of your life.
Every day with Turtle is a perfect day.
When I'm holding her, it makes me feel calmer.
I think everything he does shows how much he loves us.
When we adopt a shelter pet, we discover they're a little bit of a lot of things.
But they're all pure love.
Fast-paced family life in need of a slowdown?
Hello, I'm Dr. Spruce. Did you know all those green shapes on maps are parks and forests? It's true. Visit discovertheforest.org and plan to visit a park or forest near you, instead of just wondering what it would have been like.
While the word forest might make you think of distant lands from far, far away, please note parks and forests are closer than you think, which means things like beautiful scenery, fresh air, and family time are also closer than you think.
Body language can tell you all sorts of things. Like someone is having a stroke. Know the sudden signs. Learn fast. Face drooping, arm weakness, speech difficulty, Time to call 911 and get them to a hospital immediately. Learn the body language and spot a stroke fast.
All right, you ready for some baseball trivia?
Let's do it.
What year produced the most no-hit games in the big leagues?
7 no-hitters in 1990.
Wow, that's right. Now a question that's not trivial. How many children will witness bullying this year?
Huh.
The answer? 3 out of 4.
75%?
That's
Wow.
right. How many of them will say something?
Kids want to help, but don't know how. Teach them how to stop bullying and be more than a bystander at stopbullying.gov.
Look at me. Hey.
Raymond, look at Mommy.
Maybe the light hurts his eyes.
Maybe she's just not hungry. Maybe he can't hear us. Maybe we're not stimulating him enough. Maybe it's a phase.
Avoiding eye contact is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that. Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look.
Guys, let's recap that weather because we are going to be having some notable weather changes throughout the week. Like I mentioned earlier, Wednesday we will see a beautiful 60 as well as Thursday with the low of 30. And then Friday we will see that drastic drop to 46 degrees. That's because on Thursday afternoon, nighttime, we will see some gusts pushing to 30 to even 35 miles per hour. And then on Saturday we will see some potential snow, 30 to 40% chance, not until Saturday afternoon, and that'll hopefully continue into Sunday as well. Well, that's all we have. But back to you, Tori and Liam at the desk.
Thanks, Hannah. Make sure you don your masks and beads today because it is Mardi Gras, also known as Fat Tuesday, which marks the end of the carnival season. The 8-week-long celebration was finally back in New Orleans after 2 years due to the pandemic.
This festival was originally a pagan holiday that represented spring and fertility. Today, it's now known as the start of the Lenten season for Catholics and Christians all around the world. Make sure to stay safe and be responsible when celebrating this holiday.
I gotta say, it's definitely very exciting that this is back after 2 years. The pandemic has taken away a lot of celebrating, and it's definitely something that's on my bucket list. So
I agree. That is all we have for today, but make sure to tune in tomorrow for another live newscast and check us out on all our social medias.
Have a good night, folks.